And Happy New Year, happy 2025. This is my first video of this year. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Wanaka in the south of New Zealand, and I'm so grateful that you chose to come and do this 20-minute practice with me. We're going to be working on mobilizing our hips and our shoulders and upper back. So just sitting in a cross-legged position, maybe take a look at your knees. You may notice with me that this knee is higher than this one. That's because I've got osteoarthritis in this hip. I'm actually having a hip replacement next month. So really good to notice that both sides of our body are often not the same, and remember to adjust your practice accordingly. So I encourage you to think about that when we are moving through the different poses today. All right, let's get started by turning to the side. We're going to place our hands either towards our buttocks or to the edges of the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Take a moment just to feel yourself grounded here. And then using your in-breath, start to lift your chest and roll your shoulders back. And then round your back. And as you inhale, start to feel that extension. And as you exhale, coming into a rounded flexion. Just starting to slowly stretch and wake up the upper back. Maybe you've been sat at a desk. This will feel really nice if you have. One more time. Lovely. And then with the feet at the edges of the mat, just drop your knees towards me and then away from me. Windshield wiper movements helping to warm up and loosen up our hip joints. Ready for the exercises to come. All right, we're going to extend the legs out, pull the flesh from beneath your bum to the sides. We're going to take that front leg. We're going to bring our hand to the inside of the ankle, the shin, or the outside of the foot. We're going to sit up nice and tall, lift that leg. So shoulder goes back, and then we just start to move in little circles. Just taking the hip, which is a big ball and socket joint, all the way around its range of movement. And then we're going to land that foot over the back knee, place one hand on the knee, one hand on the foot, and just rock side to side on your sit bones. Much harder on this side for me than the other side. I can feel. Lovely. Now put your hands down. We're going to start to walk the buttocks and the heel towards each other. And your body will tell you when you've reached that point. And what we're looking for is a feeling of tension. Yeah. So I'm going to take that same movement. I'm going to inhale and lift my chest. I'm going to exhale and round my back. But this time I'm feeling it in my hip as well. And this hip for me is pretty tight, so there's a feeling of compression. And I don't want to go past that because I've lost the cartilage. I have bone on bone now in this hip. So I'm being really careful. Beautiful, one more time. All right, we're going to extend the bottom leg and roll back and hug that knee into the chest. Take a moment to breathe in, relax your head towards the floor. And as you exhale, hug your knee in toward your chest as you raise your head towards your knee. Inhale, go down. Exhale, come on up. One more time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to bring the feet to the floor. We're going to bend the knees, place them hip distance apart, hands towards the heels, lay the head down, and then start to press the lower back into the floor and lift your hips up. And then slowly come down. So activating a bit of the back line here. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thighs. Eye gaze is straight up towards the sky or the ceiling. Good, and stay here and hold for a moment. Roll the shoulders down so the fingers might move a little bit closer towards the heels, activating all of those posterior muscles. Beautiful. Come back down. Take a hold of the back of the knees, and we're going to roll ourselves back up. We're going to extend the legs and start on the other side. So bend the back knee, take your hand on the inside of the leg or the outside of the foot, lift it up, and let's start to circle. And then the other way. Okay, place the foot over that opposite knee, hand on knee and foot, and just that gentle rocking. So I can feel a lot more movement on this side than I did on the other side. So really looking for that place where there's a little bit of opportunity to move into, a little tension that we can work with. Okay, now place the hands on the floor, walk that heel towards the buttocks, keeping the bent knee foot flexed. Take a breath in as you bring your chest a little closer to your shin and then back away. Bring your chest closer and release. One more time, finding that sweet spot. This is a really nice place to stay if you feel tightness, and then release. Extending the bottom leg out, hugging that top leg in as we lie down. Take a breath in to prepare, feeling that stretch all the way down the front of the extended leg. That's the front of the hip. And then as you exhale, bringing your nose towards your knee. Inhale back down, exhale back up. We'll do that one more time. Beautiful. And then bending both knees, placing feet hip distance apart. I'm going to shimmy down a bit because I'm a bit back off the mat. Fingers towards the heels. Start to press the lower back into the floor. Lift the tailbone, lift the hips, and coming into this full Setu Bandhasana. And then if you wish, you could always interlace your fingers. Feel the sternum lift, but keep the chin slightly elevated away from the chest. Feel the strength of your legs holding you up here as we move into this nice, lifted, extended pose, strengthening the legs and the spine. Slowly come down, and we're going to bend the knees. Take our hands behind. We're going to roll forward and back. Just massaging the whole spine. Lovely. And then we come up. We're going to cross our legs and move into hands and knees position. So do that however you need. Hands are shoulder width apart, knees under hips, and you can do a gentle cat-cow. So exhaling as you round the back, inhaling as you gaze forward. Just whatever feels good. Sometimes it's nice to do circular movements like a barrel. Go in one direction and then the other. Just listen to your body and see what would feel good right now. Lovely. Okay, we're going to take that front leg and we're going to circle it around again. So again, keeping in with that same movement we did seated. And now we're going to extend that leg out and we're going to bring the foot in line with the knee. We're going to put all the weight into the back hand. You might feel a little stretch already here in the inner hip. Place your hand behind your head, lift your elbow up, and then bring it down. Reaching up, maybe looking up as well. One more time, really starting to focus again on the upper back here. So lift the hand towards the sky and then circle the shoulder. Lovely. That should feel quite nice. Hopefully it does for me. Reaching up as you press down, reach up a little higher. Beautiful. And then bring your hands down. And now, if it feels okay, come down onto your forearms. And this is where we go into the hip. So feel like you're gently pressing your hips back, pressing down through the outside edge of that foot. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, find a little more space. This is a particularly tight place for a lot of people. Our groin, we don't tend to move laterally very much. So taking an extra long exhale here might be nice to help you. Okay, bring that leg back into extension. We're going to bring the knee to the floor and then extend the leg back as we inhale. Now, if you wish, you could bring the knee towards the nose and then extend up, or just bring it to the floor. Lovely. We've got one more. Feel that nice little squeeze in the glute as you lift the leg. This time, bring your leg in and bring it to where your hand was. And we're coming up into Angiasana, low lunge. You can tuck the back toes under or keep it flat. It's up to you. We're going to focus on holding the hips here and tilting the pelvis. So breathing in and breathing out. And as you tilt the pelvis forward, feel the engagement of that back glute. That's going to help release the front of your hip here, your psoas. One more time. Lovely. Now bring your back hand in line with your front foot. Tuck your toes under, and we're going to reach the arm up to come into a twist. Drop the knee and hand down, and then lift. Lovely. We'll do one more. As you reach up through the top hand, press down through the bottom hand. And I'm feeling a lot of stretch here. We're sort of in an internal rotation position again. Lovely. Hands come down. We're going to go into a slow release to the floor. So from plank, you can put your knees down or gently land everything on the floor. Bring your hands into Sphinx pose and just press the elbows back as we feel a little bit of space opening up between the collarbones. A little bit of engagement through the elbows to press back will help create some space in the chest. Beautiful. Okay, keeping the feet flat on the floor. Bring the hands to touch in front of you, elbows bent. As you inhale, press the elbows back and then land the hands. Inhale, squeeze the elbows back and release. One more time. Beautiful. Stay here or take the hands back towards your buttocks, reaching the palms either side of the legs. You can add the legs if you wish or keep them on the floor. Activating those glutes and all the muscles in your back. Really good for your posture. And then release. Hands under shoulders. Tuck your toes. Take a breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, come back up. We're going to go back into a child's pose. You can have your knees apart or together. Just see what feels best. Focus on lengthening your hips down toward your heels, relaxing your face. You can have your elbows bent. You can extend the arms to stretch the lats out to the front of your mat. Just, again, always checking in and seeing, feeling what the body is calling for, what it's asking for. Yoga is the perfect practice to work with the sort of two opposing forces, working with action, activity, and then relaxation, taking one when you need it. Back up onto your hands and knees. We're going to take the back leg now and start to circle in one direction and then the other way. And then extending the leg out to the side, placing all the weight into the front hand, taking the back arm behind the head, and then bringing the elbow to touch the supporting arm. Feeling what it's like to do this movement on this side, and then reaching your arm up towards the ceiling or the sky, and then bringing the arm into some nice big wide circles. Lovely. One more time. All right, bringing your hands down, coming onto your forearms, and then finding that outside edge as you press down through the back leg, and just maybe thinking about lifting your sit bones up ever so slightly. Can you also squeeze the muscles in your leg? See what it happens when you activate your thigh muscles. Helps to give a little bit more release into the groin, I find. All right, coming back up, placing that back leg up, and then bringing it down to the floor. Inhale up and release. Beautiful. And again, you can bring the knee to the nose if you want to add a little bit of abdominal engagement into the pose. Next time you come through, land the back leg where the back arm was and come up into your low lunge. Hands on hips, feeling the front and the back, and then just noticing that tilting up, tilting back motion as we work to bring some length and stretch to our psoas. That's it, lovely. Now taking your front hand down, lifting your front knee, looking to the back, lifting the back arm, and then lowering and lifting. Nice work. Last time, stay up and just press down through the hand on the floor. Press the heel back on the leg that's extended and reach up towards the ceiling with your back arm. Beautiful. And then we're going to step our feet together. So we come into Uttanasana, forward fold. I like to bend my knees one at a time and just rock from side to side. I'm just going to turn towards you for this one. Lovely. Let the back of the head relax completely. Maybe give the head a little shake. Doesn't matter where your arms are, but I encourage you to bend your knees to keep your back safe. All right, we're going to turn the toes out, heels slightly in, and come down into this Hindi squat. Now I'm just going to rock from heel to heel here, just giving my body a chance to tell me how it feels about this pose. Given the hip issues I have, I can't do this pose as well as I used to be able to. So I have to make adjustments. I'm going to come into the pose. You may be able to get your heels on the floor. That's not possible for me at this time, so I'm just going to balance. You could also put something underneath your heels to give you some more support. That would be a great idea too. All right, just feeling the opening of the groin. We did one at a time and now we're stretching both. And then placing the hands on the floor. Beautiful. And then bend your knees and slowly start to make your way up to standing position. Lovely. All right, I'm going to turn to the side here. We're going to do a little bit of work for the front of the hip and then we're going to stretch it. So lifting that front leg into a balancing pose, really squeezing the muscles in the leg and the glute. Holding the leg as close to parallel as you can. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, extend the leg out. Inhale, exhale. So working that psoas muscle, asking it to hold the whole weight of your leg, and then bringing it down. Knees together, hold the foot, and coming into a nice stretch. So as you squeeze the glute, the whole front of the thigh and hip gets a chance to stretch. Now extend your back arm out. Choose a point of focus, a drishti, where your eyes can help you to do this balance. And then start to kick your foot away. And as your foot kicks out, your body starts to slowly come forward. A gentle bend in your knee will help you. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Try to smile if you can. It's pretty cool to do dancer's pose, Natarajasana. Beautiful. All right. Now we're going to slowly come back. You can put your foot down on the floor or swing the foot over the back knee and coming into standing pigeon. So you've done this pose in 3 different positions now in the class. Press the weight into your heel. Keeping your chest lifted, but sitting down into that invisible chair. You could take your arms out to the side as well, or have them here, whatever feels and supports you to maintain your balance. Beautiful. And then release. Okay, let's go to the other side. All the weight in one leg as you lift the knee to parallel, hands on hips. Take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, extending out. Exhale out. Take your time. If you don't have to be this high, your leg might be lower. That's perfectly fine. There is absolutely no judgment. We love and accept ourselves just as we are today, because what we do today makes our body what it will be tomorrow. So, extending your arm, choosing that focal point for your eyes, softening your face, bending your knee, and then starting to kick. Take a breath in and out. There's a beautiful breeze here today. That's it. Soft determination. Noticing how beautiful the stretch is for your shoulder, the strength you're creating in your legs, and the openness you're creating in your hips. Come back in, touch down if needed, and then place the foot over the back knee, slowly working your way down into this balance. see if it's possible to just move the toes of your foot. That will ensure that the weight is properly weighted in your heel and the mounds of your toes. And down she goes. It's fine, it's good to fall. It means you're giving your body the chance to do something maybe it hasn't done before. Needs a bit more practice at. I'm sinking down till I feel that tension, that release in my hips, and then I come up. Beautiful. All right, we're going to finish with a few toe lifts, reaching up and slowly coming down. Bend your knees, get full extension, and slowly lower. Last time, and release. That is us. Thank you so much for being here today. I will do one more video in February, just before I have my hip operation, but hopefully I'll see you back on the mat here sometime. And thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.